Hi everyone, let's continue with the risk. Now, operational risk. What is operational risk? First, I'm going to give examples of operational risks, then I'll give a definition. What's an operational risk? An example would be a fraud. It would be litigation with clients or litigation with authorities. It could be an IT failure. It could be an error, a mistake. All of these are operational risks. So what's the definition? Operational risk, risk of loss due to a default in people, in procedures, in systems, and risk of loss due to external shocks, a flood, a fire, for example, is included in the operational risk. If you look at the Basel definition, the legal risk. Litigation with clients, litigation with authorities, litigation with suppliers, any type of litigation. Now, how can you hedge operational risk? Operational risk can be hedged by insurance. It can be mitigated with procedures. It could be also limited with controls. Now, does someone tell the banks the more operational risk you have, the more equity you should have in front of the risk? Hopefully, yes, that was Basel II. Basel II told the banks you must also include operational risk. To make it simple, how do we calculate the amount of equity we need in front of the operational risk? We're going to look at the past. Did we ever have operational risks in the past for at least the last 5 years? So we're going to have a database, historical database, with all the operational losses we had for the last at least 5 years. The idea is to make statistics. Not only are we going to look at the past, we're going to look at the future. Future, what does it mean? Scenarios. If this were to happen, what would the impact be for you? So we look at the past, we look at the future. What's missing? The present. What does it mean? For example, we're going to do a risk control self-assessment. That is, we're going to measure real-time the risk we have within the bank. Follow key risk indicators, like, for example, the turnover in a department in the bank. We're going to look at the mistakes that have been happening in the bank, real time. So we look at the past, we look at the future, and we take the present. The idea is to make the statistics. Okay. So for example, let's say we calculate the probability of occurrence of a flood and look at the amount of losses when it occurs. And we say, for example, that on average we have 2 floods a year in the bank, and it leads to an average loss of 100,000 euros. What do we do with that? Well, first, we take an action plan to decrease the amount of loss if it occurs and the probability of occurrence of the risk. So first, an action plan. Then what do? We can have an insurance to lower the amount if ever the risk occurs. Then what else do? Well, for the risk we accept, we can take provisions. Regulators say what? You must take into account 99.9% of all the potential operational losses. So everything that's not taken into account with an action plan, with insurance, with provisions, has to be taken into account with equity. And this is how we calculate the amount of equity we need in front of the risk. So, to summarize, operational risk, risk of loss due to the default of people, default of procedures, default of systems. Also included external shock, included legal risk, litigation with clients, is excluded image risk if you follow the Basel definition. It's also excluded strategic risk. I hope you understood what operational risk was. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, subscribe, put some thumbs up. I'll be really pleased to see you very soon. Have a nice day. Bye.